Welcome back. We had a little discovery today. So I took the fender off of my Performer, and then I looked down here. You see that? There's obviously some of my cleaning solution that's leaking, and I'm tracing it right here. Looks like it's a little bit wet, so I have a hole that's spilling on here, and that's not good. That causes my pump to lose prime. So today we're going to fix it. So let's get started. Okay, so that hose comes from the chemical pump that you see here. It's the low pressure side, and so it goes through and it goes in the frame. This is box steel right here. So it's going to go, it goes through the frame and it comes out. You can barely see it. Let me get my flashlight in there. It comes out right there. It comes out of the frame and it goes all the way up to the top of your chemical flow meter. So it's on the other side of this. So look at here. So we're going to completely replace this whole section. Okay, I rigged up my light so I can eliminate some shadow so you guys can see what I'm doing. So let's dive in. So I can tug and pull on this thing, but I think I'm just going to take a knife and just slit it right here. And then I'm going to tie a string around it and pull it through this whole system. Just grab over on this side, pull it through. Then I've got a string. So I'm going to grab the new hose, tie it to the string, and pull that through with the string as well. Today we're going to use some basic twine. We use this twine just to tie up our rugs when we deliver them, tie the bags up around them. So kind of an all-purpose kind of twine. We just have it around, it's easy, it's cheap, so that's what we're going to use today. Using standard electrical tape, we're going to hold it on there. If you have warm electrical tape, that usually helps. Cold day like today, this is a little bit hard to work with. Good idea is to put it in your back pocket, let it warm up a little bit while you're getting ready. When you're wrapping it around, stretch it a little bit, put it over. Stretch, put it over. Stretch, put it over. And then just close it around the string, your pull string that you use. And just stop right there. And I am going to, just for good measure, tape it a little down deeper in here just so this doesn't slip off, just to ensure that a little bit. And probably because I'm a little bit retentive. It makes me feel better. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. So now we're going to do our pull. Okay, let's remove the hose clamp because we'll reuse that. And we'll start pulling. Okay, so what we've got is we've got everything pulled out, and so all it is a shot from here all the way to here, just one straight shot. So that'll be real easy. The challenge is we need to get through a little opening. So you can see, let me see, yeah, you see that opening right there's a high pressure hose right in front of it. There's an opening right there. That's where the hose is going to go through. So what I did is I got my string up here, and it's going through that actual opening, because when we pull it through, it's going to make it a lot easier to pull that hose to put it up to this destination. So let's dive in and see how it goes. There we got it. Okay, I got it pulled through. Let's make sense of this mess, shall we? So remember, I had my string coming up through here, and I made the pull head the same as I did before, which is right here. I simply just tied a knot around the hose and then just used black tape just to tape the daylights out of it, making, notice, a good taper. I'll just taper the tape. I just put a bunch of extra tape here so it has a nice smooth taper all the way up to the string. And so I tied it onto the string, and I pushed on this end. I pushed all the way down here, and what I did is I got a lot of extra coming up, and then I turned around, and from here I pulled all the way through this box steel to the other end. Now the only thing I have to watch for is to make sure this hose doesn't rub against anything. We've got my air pump right here. That feeds my catalytic, that takes oxygen to my catalytic converter. And so first of all, I don't want to obstruct the intake, which is right here. And so I also don't want it rubbing against any of these brackets. The last thing I want to do is to create this again from rubbing. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably zip tie it, pull a little extra through, just do a black zip tie around this vacuum outtake, the exhaust, and then just loop it around and then go right into the intake of the chemical pump. So let's see how that works. Okay, back at this mess again. I'm going to pull down a little bit more. Like I mentioned before, I pull a lot of extra here. So from here to here, it's just going to be a real easy pull through. Okay, so this side is done. I leave a little bit of extra. I'll probably pull that down a little bit because it is rubbing right there. So I'll probably pull some of the slack down to limit that rubbing. Okay, remember we looked at this and I was a little concerned about this hose rubbing against this bracket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie it right here, just to hold it out here so it doesn't, well, so the vibration of the whole machine and doesn't rub a hole in it, and also it's out of the way of the intake of my oxygen pump. So I'm going to have this black zip tie. The problem is I don't have any large zip ties for some reason. So I'm going to take 2 zip ties and put them together to make this happen. So you guys probably know how to do this, but I've taken 2 zip ties, make sure they're faced the same way. Take 1 zip tie, pull it all the way up, stick it until it starts to lock. Then it's now long enough to zip tie it on there. That's it. Just going to cut this little tail off. Let's take a look and see how we did. It's not running as strong as I would like, so it tells me probably it's time to rebuild the chemical pump. So I guess that'll be my next video. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. Thanks.